And we are back. Welcome back, everybody, to the live stream. This time we are here for the qualifying session ahead of the Monaco Grand Prix. And am I lagging?
Echoing. But no, it's good.
Okay, bit of confusion there. But as I was saying, my name is JW97. And once again, as you would have heard his voice because there was a bit of confusion, I'm joined by Dennis Graff again.
Terve.
Indeed. As you see, we're here for the qualifying session. As you can see, just like in practice, we're not going to have any rain for Q1, Q2, and Q3, so we're just going to have dry running for all of it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Leave your predictions, guys, on who you think will get knocked out in Q1. It's been a while since I've said that. And I'm going to ask you now, Dennis, who do you think will get knocked out in Q1?
So I had my thoughts on that a few hours ago already, so I already know what it is. So we will have Williams, a Haas, a Manor, two Manors, an Alfa Romeo, and to the shock, a Red Bull. I say Red Bull.
Ah, okay, interesting. You're going very bold there. I'm gonna go with both Williamses. I think I'm gonna go with one Haas, one Alpha, and both Manors. I know I usually predict that, but I just like to keep safe on a lot of my predictions. But we're in the garages now. We've got Amelia Wilson we're looking at the moment as the McLaren of Joseph Willows is going to be the first on the racetrack. A former Monaco Grand Prix winner in 2008. Very lucky, it's fair to say, as I think it's fair to say that should have been Felix Ontario's victory. But that's that, as he's the first guy out on the racetrack. And will we get any mistakes in this session? Will we get any crashes like we saw in practice? We will have to wait and see. I'm going to see if you guys have left any predictions in the stream chat, and some of you have. So Franco has said both Manors, a McLaren, a Williams, a Haas, and an Alpha Tauri. Very risky. Fong Chanak has said both Manors, both Williams, a Haas, and an Alpha Tauri. And yeah, they're the only two predictions we've got at this point in time. It will be very interesting to see. Mentioned in practice. Ah, yes. They are a bit of a pain in the ass. So, moving on before I tell any more dag jokes there. It could be very interesting, of course. We mentioned it in practice as well, as we saw that traffic could be a big thing in this qualifying session, and we could see a few shocks along the way in, well, maybe in both Q1 and Q2 with this traffic. We'll have to wait and see. It looks like Willows isn't going to get any traffic, judging from the minimap. I think everybody is out on track, all 22 cars, so Willows shouldn't get any traffic on his first lap, but we'll wait and see what everybody else is doing a little bit later on, including the top guys as well. As Willows starts his lap now then, as he goes down towards turn 1, and so up the hill he goes then, as he'll now make his way up towards the Casino Square. And the end of the first sector is actually in the middle to back on this version of Grand Prix, not to back, Mirabeau, in the middle of Mirabeau. On this version of Grand Prix 4, so be aware of that as he makes his way towards Mirabeau now. Then let's see what his first sector is like, and it is a 23.117. I should say it's in between Mirabeau and the Grand Hotel Hairpin, not in the middle. I do apologise. Now through into Portier. Now then we'll go Willows as he'll now make his way into the tunnel. As now through the tunnel he goes, and a bit obviously. A bit of an interesting fact I found out as well, in fact, that the cars actually lose a tiny bit of downforce when they actually get into the tunnel. Not by a lot, but they do some, and do bear with me for...
I think you're cut off there for a bit.
I did say hold on for a moment, Dennis. I did have to attend to something there, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, Willows now then making his way through Anthony Nodes. As now he makes his way down the straight, and let's see what the benchmark time is going to be. Joseph Willows at a 1 minute 12.269. Not the quickest we've seen, of course, because we did see 1 minute 11s in practice. Meanwhile, we've got a yellow flag, and that's actually at the swimming pool section, and it's Franco Gamba. Gamba has had a bit of a crash, I think, and I think he must have done it at the exit of La Piscine. As we saw Armar Car going to the 1 minute 10s there, as a couple of other cars have actually just done a lap there. I think they may have been on each other up, but not the best of starts for Franco Gamba.
Yeah, indeed. I think it's almost the same what happened to Zhang, but he didn't catch it in time, and this is the result.
Looks like this time around, though, it looks like it was some understeer rather than oversteer, which is what Laura Chung got on in practice there. But still, not a good start. He'll have to climb into the T car. Maybe it could be a blessing in disguise. It could give him a clear air. It's Lopez goes second, 1.2 seconds off the car. Might have got a bit of traffic in his way, or maybe got held up a little bit by Franco Garma's car. I think I loaded these guys.
Look at the gaps.
Yeah, I think it might have something to do with the fact that they may have got held up by Franco Garma's stationary car. As Wilson goes 10th, make that 11th because Roberto Garma goes into 4th. David Keepot across the line goes into 7th. Daniel Fraser across the line, he will now go. And he goes into 8th position. Kirishima De Rosa across the line, slots into 5th position. As here comes Rosetta Martinez now then. He's now going to come across the line. And Martinez goes into 14th. 5th place for Mikolas Gauss. Here comes Roland Motrin across the line. And he goes into 2nd position. Just over a second behind Armar Carr. 2nd place for Jake Galloway now then. As here comes Dudu Kirby in the Haas. He goes into 11th. As 9th place there for Jamie Griffiths. And they are the laps done apart from Franco Garma. So at the moment, Armar Carr at the top. And Franco Garma is going out there. But he'll be hoping by the exit there'll be no traffic there. So maybe a chance for Franco Garma. Could he have been tactical, in fact? Maybe, perhaps. Maybe Charles Leclerc could have taken a bit of advice if that was the case. So, unfortunately, Charles Leclerc doesn't have any spare cars about. So, how's that really? It's quite ironic they happened at the same corner where Leclerc had his crash in real life last season, which gave him pole position before Ferrari decided not to check his gearbox properly. So, that's that. Is now Franco Garma makes his way down through Mirabeau, and a lot of these lap times I don't think it's safe to say from those first laps, Dennis, are not really representative, because I think a lot of them got held up by Franco Garma's stationary car after he crashed at the exit of La Piscine.
Yeah, that's true. We have many cars who got compromised there, I think. Of course, Laura Chung being 4.7 seconds down. But also, Carr did a great lap to be 1 second ahead of everyone else. So yeah.
Indeed. Whether he will be 1 second ahead of everybody, that's another question. Because, like I said, I don't think we've seen the true reflection of everyone, particularly Franco Lopez. Meantime, Franco Garma in the spare car now then. He's about to start his lap, and he'll be hoping there's no traffic on the exit so it doesn't disrupt him. Out of Anthony Nodes then goes the Italian. Let's see, will there be any traffic on the exit? There is some car movement, but I don't know if there's any coming out of the pits as he now comes down the straight, and there's no traffic for Franco Garma. So maybe, could this have been a little bit of a cheeky tactic here for Franco Garma? Not suggesting any conspiracy theories, but there we are. As Franco Garma now then goes through Casino there, and he's obviously seen these walls plenty of times today, it's fair to say, as Franco Garma, especially what happened to him in practice, as he's 3 tenths down off of Armar Carr in the first sector, so he's not up on him. I think we could expect a P2 finish from him on this lap, but we will see as he goes through Portier, and now into the tunnel will go the Italian. And a few more cars are now coming out on the track, including Willows and Chatfield now then, as Garma makes his way down towards the seafront chicane, as he's half a second off of Carr in the second sector, as he'll now make his way towards the back will go the Italian, as he flicks the car in for the left-hander, and now through into the La Piscine section. He'll be hoping this time he doesn't crash, through the right, through the left, this time no worries for the Italian, and now through into Raskas now then, getting it in. Getting as close to those walls as possible. Through Anthony Nodes goes the Italian as he makes his way down the pitch straight. Let's see what lap time it's going to be. I'm expecting this to be a P2 finish at least across the line, and it is. But not that much ahead of Galloway. So P2 for Franco Garma that time by. As plenty of cars are now coming out onto the racetrack. As Willows, just like last time, first on track. But he'll be hoping there'll be no traffic this time by. Willows at the moment currently in 6th position. So he was obviously pretty lucky with the traffic, it's fair to say, was Joseph Willows. Whether he can keep that up is another question. Down the pitch straight, Willows starts his next lap. No traffic for him, so a clear run for Willows again for the second lap in a row as he makes his way up the hill towards the Casino Square. So at the moment, it is car top. Franco Garma in 2nd, Galloway 3rd, Motrin 4th, Lopez 5th, Willows in 6th, then Roberto Garma in 7th, Galloway in 8th, De Rosa 9th, and Griffiths in 10th. And currently in the drop zone, we have Gomez, Videri, Sontag, Martinez, Wilson, and shockingly, Laura Chung. But as mentioned earlier, I don't think we've seen the true reflection of these times, to be honest, because I think a lot of them got held up when Franco Garma had his crash a little bit earlier on. So we should see a raft of improvement unless they get held up by traffic. So we'll have to wait and see on that as Willows now then comes out of the tunnel. As he'll now make his way down towards the seafront chicane now then, flicking it in for the left and then into the right-hander he goes, as he'll now make his way towards the back. That Haas car, I think, in front is too far away for him to catch up, so I think he should be okay. Into La Piscine now then. Now through the right and then into the left-hander will now go Willows, as he'll now make his way towards Raskas now then. The left and then through the right-hander. And now through Anthony Nodes he will go. And now making his way down the straight as Willows now then is going to come across the line. And does he improve? No, he doesn't. He remains in 6th position. There's a couple of cars behind him about to start a lap. Car is not up on his personal best. It doesn't look like he's going to improve on his 1 minute 10.8. And I wonder if he did get a little bit held up on his lap. I'm not sure because the lap time doesn't look that impressive for Car. And he does not improve that time by. And as Gao just starts a lap there, as we now look at Laura Chung, who's still down on her personal best, but I think she'll gain it back in this last sector because she was one of the drivers that got held up when Franco Gamba had his crash. So let's see where Chung goes this time. She goes up to 7th, so much better for Chung there. As a few more cars about to start a lap, as De Rose is getting held up by a lot of traffic here, and he's currently in 10th, remains in 10th. For Derry 18th, Rogue goes up to 6th for the moment. Here comes Roland Motrin on an improvement, and he goes 3rd position, so he gets into the top 3. Franco Lopez is up on his personal best. Can he go quicker than Armar Carr? That is the question. Franco Lopez, who was robbed of victory last season, crosses the line and goes into 2nd, nearly a 10th off his teammate. As now here is Felix Ontario on an improvement, currently in wherever he is. He's currently in 11th position at the moment. David Kupak improves to go up into 8th. Evan Byrne crosses the line, goes up to 3rd. A big improvement for the Irishman. Roberto Gamba on a good lap. He goes up to 3rd himself. So showing the pace that he showed in practice is Roberto Gamba. Here comes Daniel Fraser, crosses the line, goes into 17th position, still in the drop zone at this point in time. Wilson's up on her personal best, currently in last position, 4.5 seconds off of Armar Carr, one of the drivers who did get held up by Franco Gamba. And Wilson goes into 17th, still in the drop zone. Gomez goes 14th. For the moment, as we now look at Martinez, who's up on his personal best, as Gao goes up to 4th in the Red Bull. So up into P4 goes Miklos Gao, gets in front of Evan Byrne and teammate Franco Gamba. As Martinez now then goes around Raskas now then into the Anthony Nodes corner. Down the pit straight now then will go the Filipino. And where's he going to place the Manor? And he goes 20th. So still in the drop zone and pushes Chatfield, in fact, down into 21st. So not very good for Chris Chatfield in the AlphaTauri so far. I wonder if traffic played a part there. But he's still got just under 8 minutes, so plenty of time to get back in and get back out to try and see if he can improve, providing he can find a space in the traffic. So as expected, Dennis, a lot of improvements that time by.
Yeah, as I said, as expected. Of course, there were, except for the four car train, there wasn't a big amount of traffic, I would say. So, of course, there are many improvements. Yeah, but let's see what Franco Gamba does here.
He's starting his 2nd flying lap now. Then, of course, he's going to be separate to everybody else, and he's going to get a clean lap again. Interesting tactics from Red Bull here, it's fair to say. Now, Franco Gamba makes his way down towards Mirabeau. Let's see what his 2nd sector is like, and he's half a second off of Carr, and he's down on his personal best by nearly 2/10. So at the moment, it doesn't look like that Gamba is on an improvement at the moment as he makes his way through Portier. Now making his way towards the tunnel as he makes his way through the long swooping right-hander now then as he makes his way down towards the seafront chicane. Through the left and then into the right-hander he will go. Now now heading towards the back now then we'll go the Italian of Franco Gamba. It in and then into La Piscine, and still down on his personal best unless he can find some time in the last sector. I don't think he's going to improve as the Italian now then makes his way towards Raskas now then, flicking it in for the left and then into the right hander he will go. Now towards Anthony Nodes now then, now heading down the pit straight goes Franco Gamba, and across the line he will now go. Will he find some time in the last sector? I doubt it, but let's see. And as expected, doesn't improve, remains in 6th position. There's a few more cars are coming out on the track, or are they coming back in? I'm not so sure. There are some cars out on track, including Chris Chatfield, who's got to the front of the queue in this session, and he desperately needs to be fair to him, because let's get one thing clear, he is down in 21st position. He desperately needs to improve, and he'll be hoping there's no traffic on the exit of the pit lane here as he makes his way down the pit straight. Is there any traffic? And luckily for him, there isn't. So Chatfield will get a clear lap in as he makes his way through into turn 1, getting as close to the barriers as possible, as he'll now make his way up the hill towards Casino now then. And we will see what his first sector is like compared to his personal best. So 23.2 so far for Chris Chatfield is his first sector. Let's see what it's like as he will now make his way through Mirabeau. The sector point is just in the middle of this part here, and he's down on his personal best in the first sector. That is a bit of a surprise for Chris Chatfield at the moment. Through into the section of corners, through into Portier now then, as he'll now approach the tunnel. Looking it through the right-hander, kind of a double right-hander, it's fair to say. He now approaches the end of the second sector. It's kind of a short run towards sector 2, to be fair, and he's still down. He's kept it consistent, but he still needs to find a lot of time in this last sector. And at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to be a good lap for Chris Chatfield, who scored some good points in Spain last time out, but so far appears to be struggling in this qualifying session. As he goes through La Piscine now, then through the right, then into the left, as he will now make his way towards Rascasse now, then flicking it in for the left, and then through the right-hander as he swoops the car in, and then into the final turn will go Chris Chatfield of Anthony Nodes down the pit straight. Will he find a miracle in the last sector? I'm not sure. Across the line, he looks like he might be gaining some time, in fact, and he does, but he's still in the drop zone. He's still in 17th. Car doesn't improve, remains in on the 1 minute 10.8, still currently top of the session as we ride on board with Jamie Griffiths now then, who is just in the cusp of Q2 at the moment. He's in 16th position. In fact, both Williamses are in the top 16 at the moment, and Griffiths looking to try and advance into Q2 if he can. He has failed on a few occasions compared to his teammate. It's fair to say his teammate has had the measure of him in qualifying so far, but in the races it has so far been kind of a different story. They've both been kind of level peggings as both Felix and Jamie when it comes to pace. I think Jamie's had a little bit more luck than what Felix has had, as Jamie does not improve and remains in 16th, as Willows is not up on his personal best, currently in 10th position. Unless he can find some time in the last sector, I think he's going to remain on a 1 minute 12.269 as Willows comes down pit straight. Across the line goes the two-time champion, and he remains where he is. Felix Ontario. Across the line he goes in the Williams, and no improvement for him as Lopez didn't improve, did get held up by Sontag there. De Rosa doesn't improve, remains where he is at this point in time, which is 15th position. So at the moment he's kind of praying he gets into Q2. As Evan Byrne crossed the line, he was on improvement but loses time in the last sector, so he remains in 5th position as a result. Gabriel Gomez now then through Rascasse. He's got his teammate behind, so that won't do his teammate any favours. But given that he's down in last position, in fact, is Andrea Videri. Gabriel Gomez crossed the line, no improvement, and Videri does improve. Maybe he got a little bit of switching, but he's still in the drop zone at this point in time, down in 19th position as Rote crossed the line, got held up and remains in P9. Nicolas Gout crossed the line, he goes in the Red Bull, remains in P4 at this point in time, as there is Amelia Wilson currently in 20th position in the manor. Down the pit straight she will now go, and no improvement for her at the moment. Motrin crossed the line, remains where he is. Jake Galloway remains in P4, not P4, P8 I should say. Got him confused with Nicolas Gal there because of the prefix. Fraser improves but still in the drop zone, goes up to 17th. David Kupak doesn't improve, remains in P11 at this point in time. It's Roberto Gamba, the man currently up in third, and currently having a very good session at the moment. Roberto getting held up by one of the McLarens, as now Roberto makes his way through Anthony Nodes. And the Italian, I don't think is going to improve because of that, as he crosses the line, and nope, remains in third position at this point in time. Both McLarens are in the pits. Whether we'll see them come out again, we'll have to wait and see, because it is quite a short lap around here in Monaco. Martinez is on a lap, and he's up on his personal best at the moment. Can he get out of last position? Excuse me, as I sneeze like hell there. As Martinez now then makes his way towards Rascasse now then. The double right-hander he goes, as he'll now make his way towards Anthony Nodes, flicking it in through the right, left, and then down the pit straight he will go. And Martinez now then comes across the line. Can he get out of last position? And no, he can't. In fact, he lost time in the last sector, remains in last. And I think that might be it for him, given how much time there is left. But we will wait and see. So Martinez might be out. Gamba is on a lap, and he's up on his personal best in the first sector. 3/10 down on Carr, though, in the first sector. And let's see what he can do. So far, Frankie Gamba currently in 6th position. How much of an improvement can he find on this lap? In his second sector, he loses time, in fact, in the second sector. He's now down on his personal best, 200ths off to be exact. He can still gain it back in the last sector, but he will need to really get the hammer down if he wants to, as he's half a second off of Carr in the second sector again. Through La Piscine then goes Frankie Gamba. So he tries to get as close to the wall as possible. Into Rascasse now then goes Gamba, as now through the double right-hander he will go. And we've barely had any time to pause, really, because of Gamba's crash. We've seen continuous laps going on as a result, as Gamba now then makes his way down the pit straight, and Gamba crosses the line, and he does improve but remains in 6th position. A few cars have gone out on the track, and I'm keeping an eye. Chatfield is out there, so he'll get one more chance to try and make it through. But what about everybody else that's out on track? Martinez obviously finished the lap. I think he'll be done for the day, and that's that then. So only I think Kirby, in fact, has got out at the last minute there. So I think Kirby will be able to get one more lap in.
Oh, that means that is ruined.
Chris Chatfield, that's not going to do him any favours, and I believe he is going to be out of the session unless he performs some kind of miracle. But I think Chris Chatfield is out. He is down in 18th, and I think he will be knocked out in Q1, meaning 1 Alpha Tower. He will be down.
He's off.
Let's just see, just to be sure, as he makes his way through into the first sector, 2 temps down on his personal best, 1 second off a car. So, yeah, I think it's fair to say, unless he performs a miracle, I think Chris Chatfield is out in Q1. Such a shame for him indeed.
Yeah, that's indeed the case for him. Very disappointing for him. And yeah, still everything can happen for him tomorrow. Yeah.
Indeed, as just to clarify a bit further, Chris Chatfield down on his personal best in the middle sector. Franco Gamba getting a checker flag next to his name. Of course, after his little accident, it's no real surprise he gets a bit more laps in than what everybody else does. So Chris Chatfield now then comes towards Antoninos. The checkered flag is now out. That is the session completed. Chris Chatfield, to confirm, crosses the line and does not improve. He was able to gain some time back in the last sector, but he is out. He remains in 18th. Kirby, meanwhile, is on an improvement. And could he perhaps push Griffiths down into the drop zone? Let's see. As Dudu Kirby now then comes across the line. Can he get himself into the top 16? No, he can't. He improves. Goes up to 19th. So Kirby is out. So I think it's fair to say Jamie Griffiths has made it through into Q2. Both Williamses are through because, of course, Fraser is in the pits, Martinez in the pits, Wilson in the pits. Videri didn't get out in time. So I think it's fair to say both Williamses are through into Q2. A great achievement by them.
Yeah, great job from the whole team. Of course, here in Monaco, it's something special to get both cars into Q2. So yeah, it will be a huge smile on their faces, I would say. As DeRosa improves to 9th.
DeRosa improves to go to 9th. Willows didn't have enough time to do a lap, but he was going to get held up by that Renault anyway. Sontag holding up a Mercedes, but it don't really matter because he is through into Q2. Both Williamses are. Sontag across the line, and he does not improve, nor does Lopez as a result. And that is the session done with. Q1 is done with. And the top 3, as you can see, are Amarcar, Franco Lopez, and Roberto Gamba continuing his form in practice in 3rd. With the bottom 6, who are out in Q1, they are Daniel Fraser, Chris Chatfield, Dudu Kirby, Andrea Videri, Emilia Wilson, and Rosetta Martinez. So what did you make of Q1 overall, Dennis?
Yeah, it was interesting, as always, here. I was expecting a bit more of a shocking result, to be honest. It still was good. Yeah, it was
Indeed.
good, I would say.
Very good indeed. Both Williamses making it through into Q2, both Felix and Jamie. And yeah, Chris Chatfield, disappointing for him indeed, it's fair to say, getting held up on that lap, and it's cost him a chance of getting into Q2. He will be, I'm pretty sure, bitterly frustrated with that one indeed, and he's going to have a lot of hard work to do tomorrow. He'll hope that the strategy plays out for him tomorrow if he wants to get anything out of this race tomorrow. So it's going to be very, very interesting, it's fair to say. So as I'm trying to get a screenshot of Amarcar for the moment for the Twitter page. So with guys, you might hear me go a little bit silent as a result. I will try and talk as much as I can. So whilst we wait then, guys, let us know your prediction on who you think will get knocked out in Q2. I'll obviously ask you a little bit later on, Dennis, when we get to the session on what your prediction is going to be. But for everybody else, you can leave your predictions in the stream chat. And who you think will get knocked out in Q2? Will we have a surprise getting knocked out in Q2? I mean, we did see back in China, there was a big surprise there with Franco Lopez. Maybe we could see the same here in Monaco, a big surprise happening in this session. Who knows, really? And so just managing to get a photo now of Mr. Carr. There we go. As or as an autocorrect called him, America. I don't know why, but there we are. So if anybody
you need to ask George.
If anybody's on the OC Discord, then you'll know what we're talking about there. So it's that. Just typing away.
Yeah, the subtitles are doing a great job with doing funny names.
Indeed, there was a couple of them that made a lot of people die of laughter, so to speak.
Yeah. Also, one thing I wanted to mention is Monaco. It's one of the most highly anticipated race because it's Monaco, but also at the same time one of the least anticipated race because of the track and the traffic.
It's got a lot of titles as Monaco, it really has, and a lot of nicknames too. So anyway, we've got the stream back up, and we are going to get Q2 underway very, very soon, as I've finally been able to get the tweet out for you guys. So don't worry about that. But I think without further ado, let's get underway with Q2. So what is your predictions then? Who you believe will get knocked out, Dennis?
So I think we have the two and Gomez. Then I would say Laura Chang will be eliminated, to go a bit more specific. Then I would say, McLaren and the Renault.
Okay, very interesting. I'm going to go with both Williamses. I'm going to go with Q-Park, who's the remaining AlphaTauri. I'm going to say a McLaren, sadly. I'm also going to say... who have I left out? A Renault, I'm going to say, is a bit of a shock. And yeah, I'll also say a Ferrari as well. So, my predictions, as I'm going to read Franco Garber's out, as David Q-Park is going to be the first on track for Q2. Okay, so here's some of the predictions then. A Williams, Gabe, Dave, a McLaren, a Ferrari, and a Racing Point. So that's Franco Garber's predictions. Frank Chanek has said Jamie, Gomez, an AlphaTauri, a McLaren, and a Ferrari. In fact, I forgot Gomez was in the session, so maybe I'm predicting a bold Q3 statement for Gabriel Gomez. Yeah. I'm not going back on that. So,
remember what you did in Spa last season? I think it was with Ian Campana, and it worked.
It was kind of an accidental one, that was. Maybe it's happening again. We will see. But anyway, as David Q-Park is out on track, as a few more cars are out on track with him, and some more still trying to fizzle out their way onto the racetrack. Hopefully for Q-Park's sake, they'll all be out on time for him before he starts his lap, and I think they will do, but we will see. Again, traffic could be a thing here in Q2, so maybe we'll wait and see, and maybe less so for Q3, but who knows really, as we've got some floating mechanics because of the way this track is built on Grand Prix 4. The wonderful magic of Grand Prix 4, it's fair to say. I mean, if you saw the Formula E version of Monaco that we had a few seasons ago, you'd see that the cars, sometimes their backs would stick out. So, yeah, bit interesting. So, anyway, Q-Park through into the first corner. So he starts his first lap of Q2, making his way up the hill towards the Casino Square. The AlphaTauri looking a little bit off so far in this qualifying session. Of course, Chatfield got knocked out in Q1. Who knows whether he would have made it into Q2 if he wasn't held up by the Renault at the end of the session. I believe it was Evan Byrne, if I'm not mistaken. As 23.043 there for David Q-Park, as we'll keep an eye on everybody else's first sectors when they come there. As we've got another one over 23.2 for Evan Byrne. 22. As we've got a yellow flag, and it's Jake Galloway.
Galloway.
And that is that at the typical corner, or is that at another place?
I think it is.
His wheel. I think actually that looks like it's just happened at the beginning of the casino.
Yeah, it's casino.
It's not the usual corner. I think it's at the beginning of casino it's happened. So let's have a look.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, it was.
Oh dear.
Galloway clearly carrying a bit too much speed there, and ended up smacking into the wall at the beginning of casino there. I think somebody did clip his wheel there, so I wonder if somebody's taken some damage as a result. But yeah, going in a bit too hot there was Jake Galloway. He'll have to climb into the T-car. Again, maybe some tactics going on there. I don't know. Did Roland Motrin clip it? Let's have a look.
No.
He just about missed it, actually. Did anybody else clip it? Let's see. And
yes,
it was Nicolas Gal.
Ooh.
Nicolas Gal's lost his front wing, so he's going to have to come in to change that. Again.
All these goddamn damages.
Maybe a blessing in disguise for Nicolas Gal, like his teammate in Q1. We will see, of course, but that's not good for Nicolas Gal, and anybody who's coming up behind him might get held up, which is not a good sign indeed. So, anyway, as they'll be hoping they don't come up to Gal. For anybody who's just about to start that, they're hoping they don't come across him. As Q-Park got a little bit wild there at that chicane, did a little bit of a similar error there to what Laura Chung did in practice. These drivers are really pushing it to the ragged edge in this session, it's fair to say. Maybe some of the rustiness from the Christmas break, who knows. Q-Park crossed the line to 1 minute 12.166. Maybe could have had a little bit more time if it wasn't for that mistake at the exit of La Piscine. Evan Byrne crossed the line, slots into second position. Kirishima DeRosa goes fastest by half a second, so he now goes to the top. Here comes Jamie Griffiths in the Williams. He now comes across the line, and he slots to fourth as Jake Galloway comes out in the spare car. And luckily, those cars should clear away from him when he starts his lap, because they'll be coming back to the pits. As we now look at Jake Galloway coming into the pit. Miklos Gal, of course, with the damaged front wing, now holding up Armar Carr, so this is not going to be a true reflection of Armar Carr's pace, as far as I know. But anyway, Armar Carr crosses the line, goes to the third, thanks to the hold up. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up hitting his face, doing a face palm. Who knows from that? So anyway, Gabriel Gomez crosses the line, goes into 7th position as Joseph Wells goes to 5th. Then Loa Chung, his former teammate, slots into 5th position. George Roke now then comes across the line, and the Racing Point driver goes into 5th himself. A lot of 5th positions on this lap, it's fair to say. Felix Ontario crosses the line, goes into 11th. P12 for Lopez, got held up by Sontag there, so not good news for him. P2 for Franco Gamba, nearly 1/10 off of Kirishima DeRosa. Saying, look at this glitch that's on the back of Galloway.
What? Oh, the Mars. Someone needs to clip that.
Felix in the chat, because I'm pretty sure he would like that. In fact, somebody actually posted this on Grand Prix Games. In fact, it is quite a similar glitch that happened here, and the world's quickest marshal, I think it was deemed as. So,
he's back. Yeah.
So anyway, Jake Galloway with a passenger behind is about to start his lap. I don't know if that can be rectified via the pause button. I'm not sure. But is it usually one of those that can get rectified via the going to pause, replay, and then coming back onto it? I'm not sure. Okay, fair enough. So anyway, is anybody?
It's a Marshall engine.
Yeah, it's foot power.
Flintstones.
It's the Flintstone power. So from the Stone Age. So as Jake Galloway now then approaching the end of sector 2, try and not get too distracted by the marshal, a very brave marshal, I should say. As he's 5 tenths down on DeRosa in the second sector there. I wouldn't be surprised if Gal's on the track very soon as well. The two drivers who have GAL as their prefix, although in Galloway's case it's GAO to ensure that nobody gets confused with Miklos Gal. As now Galloway makes his way through into Raskas now then, into Anthony Nodes he will go. Now making his way down the pit straight. As now across the line goes Jake Galloway. What's the time going to be? And it's P9 for Jake Galloway. Gets himself into the top 10. Is Gal on the track? That is the question. And yes, he is. He's out on track. He'll be hoping there'll be no traffic on his lap, though. That will be the question. And stream is now demonetized. What? Because of that marshal? Oh dear. If somebody can get in contact with Felix, I'm pretty sure he can maybe try and clip that, maybe. As Miklos Gal now then makes his way through into La Piscine. And now towards Raskas now then will go Miklos Gal. Now through the double right-hander he will go, as he'll now make his way towards Anthony Nodes. As now down the straight will go Miklos Gal, as he will now start his lap. He'll be hoping there's no traffic on the exit. Judging from the running map, there won't be, although there was some coming through turn 1 there, but I think it's a bit too far away for Miklos Gal to catch up. It was a Ferrari and a Mercedes in front, so let's see what Gal can do this time with no damages this time. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. So as Gal comes out of Casino now then, as he approaches Mirabeau, let's see what his first sector is like compared to Kirishima DeRosa. And he's 1/10 exactly down on DeRosa in the first sector. As he'll now make his way down towards Portier now then, as he'll now go through the tunnel. Will go the 2009 champion. Through the tunnel then goes Miklos Gal. The right-hander, as he'll now make his way down towards the C-front chicane, as he's gaining the time back now in the middle sector. He gained a little bit there because he's now 500ths off of DeRosa. So he can, if he can keep that up, he could potentially go to the top of the timing sheets. We will see as Gal makes his way through La Piscine now, then through the left, then the right, and then into the last part of La Piscine now, then getting as close to the wall as possible, making sure he makes no mistakes or even touches the wall. Maybe just gives him a little kiss, maybe to try and gain as much time as he can. And now then through into Anthony Nodes now, then making his way down the pit straight, and Miklos Gal is going to cross the line. Can he go to the top? No, he can't. Just misses out. He gains some more time, but he just misses out by nearly 200 of a second. As we now look at David Kupok, who is currently in 6th position, so having a better session than what he had in Q1 so far. But wait and see, we've got another yellow flag, and this time it's me.
It's Joseph
Willows who's
Willows.
had a crash, and
With the wheel.
bracing myself. As Miklos Gal has now got more
the
damages
wheel.
as a result. So Miklos Gal has had
All
a
these
crash, and I am
goddamn
waiting.
damages.
I'm waiting, Raw. Give me your best shot. So,
Is
that's
he
an old man while you
even
try.
here in the chat? I don't know. I don't even think he's
well, I did
here.
see him I did see him earlier, but let's see. And it's a similar mistake to what we saw from guys in practice as well.
Roberto Gamba lost his wing as well.
Damage for Roberto Gamba. The Mercedes just avoiding it there. And Gal, that was unfortunate. It just bounced back across the track for him there. So unfortunate for Miklos Gal. But again, there's unlimited spare cars in this, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. Again, maybe tactics at Red Bull, or maybe people trying to get their fight back on them. Who knows? Evan Byrne crosses the line. No improvement for him there then. So now we look at Roland Motrin, who's up on his personal best in the middle sector. Now through into Raskas now, then we'll go the Hungarian. Now make his way towards Anthony Nodes. To the right, left, and now down the pit straight will go the Hungarian. And Roland Motrin crosses the line and goes into 3rd place. So both Hungarians in the top 3 at the moment. As Jamie Griffiths improves up into 13th position. As Franco Gamba crosses the line, no improvement, remains where he is at the moment, which is P4. Laura Chung goes up to 6th, so an improvement there for her. As Amar Khan got held up and remains in P5 for the moment. Lopez still in the drop zone at the moment. I think he is out on track, so we'll wait and see if he is improving at the moment. As Gomez makes his way down the pit straight, and the Brazilian now then will come across the line, and no improvement for him there then, as Lopez is up on his personal best. He should get himself safely through, but where is he going to place himself? Lopez crosses the line and goes into 4th. So into P4 then goes the defending champion, as Sontag is up on his personal best at the moment. He makes his way through into Raskas now then, currently holding up one of the Renaults at the moment. But anyway, through into Anthony Nodes then goes Felix Ontario. He's currently in 16th. Can he get out of that position across the line? And no, he can't. He improves, but remains in 16th position at this point in time. As well as he's back out onto the track in the spare car. Chung was up on De Rosa, but she's coming back into the pit, so it won't really matter. He's now right on board with Jake Galloway. We're going to see cars being scattered around, really, in this session, it's fair to say. As now making their way down towards the right-hander now then. Making their way down towards the Grand Hotel Airport. He's up on his personal best, in fact, by nearly 0.2 of a second. He'll be hoping that Williams in front doesn't hold him up. Through Portier now then, and then into the tunnel goes Jake Galloway. A short run towards the end of Sector 2 now then, which is just coming out of the exit of this tunnel here. Let's see what his second sector is like, and keeping it consistent. Nearly half a second up on his personal best now in the second sector. So Galloway could get himself into the around about the top 3 area if he can keep this up. We will see, as now Galloway now then through into La Piscine now then he goes through the right then into the left. That Williams is getting close, but that Williams should come into the pit, so Galloway should hopefully not get held up by the Williams that's in front of him as they now go through Raskas. I don't think he got held up there, so I think he's okay. Through Anthony Nodes then goes the Chinese Grand Prix winner. Down the pit straight goes Jake Galloway, and the Renault driver is going to cross the line. Can he improve? He can. He goes up to 3rd. So as expected, gets himself into the top 3, under a 10th behind Kirishima De Rosa. Willows was up on his personal best in the first sector, but appears to have lost time in the second sector, and he's currently in the drop zone. So Willows needs to find some time in this last sector if he wants to get himself into Q2 and ensure both McLarens get through. Willows down the pit straight, across the line, goes the 2-time world champion. Can he improve? No, he can't. He remains where he is. If he can get back, if he gets back into the pits quickly enough, he could get one more flying lap. But we will wait and see, of course, as we now look at Miklos Gal, who's on a lap now. Then, of course, back out in a T car this time, because that's the second time he got some damages. Probably a little bit frustrated as the Hungarian, but there is some traffic in front. He's got to be wary of that. They hope he doesn't get held up. One of them being an Alpha Tauri, and the other one being a McLaren, I believe, as he is down on his personal best in the first sector. 2 tenths down on De Rosa, to be exact, in that sector. So making his way down towards Portier now then, as he comes up towards the Alpha Tower. He might get a little bit of a slipstream, but I worry on how that might affect him in the last sector now then, as he'll now make his way down towards the seafront chicane. And 4 tenths down, I think he might have got a little bit more affected by the AlphaTauri in front. He is currently P2 at the moment, so something to keep in mind there. Currently, the drivers in the drop zone, for anybody who needs a reminding, are Willows, Roberto Garber, Byrne, Griffiths, Gomez and Sontag. I know we haven't gone through a bit of a reminder of the bottom 6 so far, but that's because we've seen plenty of lap times going on due to the amount of crashes that we've had in this session and even in practice as well. As Gal makes his way through Raskas, I'm not sure if the AlphaTauri in front of David Cupot, that is impeding him. I'm not sure, but let's see. As he comes down the straight, might get a healthy dose of slipstream, but how much I'm not sure. Miklos Gal comes across the line and does not improve, remains in second place as his teammate Franco Gamba is about to start his lap very, very soon. As we look at Gamba, he's on a very good lap in the first sector, in fact. 800s down on De Rosa in the first sector. Let's see what his second sector is like compared to Kirishima De Rosa, his former teammate, might I add. 1/10 down on De Rosa still, but still up on his personal best in the middle sector. So let's see how Roberto can keep this up. He is currently in the drop zone, so he does need to improve, and at the moment it would push Roke into the drop zone if it were to stay like this. Roke needs to get back out on track if he wants to get himself into Q3. As Roberto gets it a little bit wrong there. Does a similar error to what his teammate did in practice. That might have cost him some time there, might have given Roke an extra lifeline, who knows. But let's see what Garber can do as he makes his way down the straight. He could still improve, but let's see. The Italian now then comes across the line and he goes into 7th, so he did push Roke out, but that could have been so much more for the Italian. De Rosa doesn't improve, remains on a 1:11.6 as Chung is about to start her final lap very soon now then. As Kupok, he's currently down on his personal best, and he is in the cusp at the moment. His Kupok, he is currently P10, so he's probably going to have to keep his fingers crossed after this lap, because this will be his final flying lap of Q2 now then. Through into Anthony Nodes goes the German as Kupok now then makes his way down the pit straight, and the German crosses the line. No improvement, raise where he is. Franco Gamba stays in P6 for the moment ahead of his cousin Roberto. As now we look at Evan Byrne now then, he's just coming around Raskas. Byrne is in the drop zone and he's not up on his personal best, so Byrne could be knocked out here unless he finds some time in the last sector. Down the pit straight now then goes Evan Byrne, and across the line will go the Renault driver, and he does improve but remains in 13th, so Byrne is out, and so is Joseph Willows as well. Willows is in the pit lane, so Willows is also out. He didn't get back out in time as car goes fastest by 0.5 of a second with a 1:11, and now
and Lopez goes even faster
with a 1:10.9. Not the quickest we've seen, but he's in the 1:10s. Now the Mercedes are turning it up. It's a 1-2 again for the Mercedes, but Willows and Byrne are out. We now look at Jamie Griffiths, who's currently 14th, and it doesn't look like he's going to improve, and nope, remains in 14th, so Griffiths is out as Chung is up on her personal best. Currently in P9 at the moment is Laura Chung. How much time can she find in this sector now then? Through into the final corner she goes through Anthony Nodes. Laura Chung comes down the pit straight, and across the line will go the Chinese driver. What sort of lap time can do? And she goes up to third. A big improvement there for Laura Chung, definitely confirming her place into Q3. Gabriel Gomez is on improvement. He's currently in the drop zone. Sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. Gabriel Gomez crosses the line and he goes up to 12th. He's still out, but he improves to go up into 12th. Gomez out, and I'll be very interested to see what Roke is doing, because he needs to improve. He did get out on track in time, but is he improving? I'm not sure. Sontag improves but remains in 16th, so Sontag is out. Griffiths actually out-qualifies Sontag, I think, for the first time this season, if I'm not mistaken. So I wonder if Franco Gama can correct me on that, but I think that is the first time that Griffiths has out-qualified Sontag. But for Roke, it's not looking good for him. He is down in 11th, and he's not up on his personal best, so he needs to find some time in the last sector, otherwise he could find himself out in Q2. Roke now then, through into Anthony Nodes he goes now then, as he makes his way down the pit straight, and George Roke is going to cross the line. Can he find some time in the last sector? No, he can't.
No, he's out.
Roke is out. He is in 11th position, and Roke has been knocked out in Q2. Galloway is on one final lap, but he doesn't really need to, really, because he's already through into Q3. He's up in 6th position, but he's just going to get an extra lap in just for the sake of it, as he now makes his way down towards the Seafront chicane, as he will now try to even get a little bit of slipstream off of the Williams, as he now makes his way through in towards the back now then. Into La Piscine he goes, the entrance, and now through into the exit, through the right, then into the left-hander he goes, as he will now get as close to the wall as possible on the outside before making his way through Raskas, through the left, then into the double right-hander, as the Williams now comes into the pits, and now through into Anthony Nodes he goes, down the pit straight, and across the line will go Jake Galloway, and he crosses the line, no improvement, but he didn't really need to anyway. He's already through, so there you have it then. Franco Lopez tops the session from Amar Khan in second, and Laura Chung in the top three, ensuring that Ferrari again get a car in the top three in both sessions. But the 6 drivers who are out in Q2, they are as follows. Surprisingly, George Roque is out, followed by Gabriel Gomez, Joseph Willows, Evan Byrne out in Q2. Another big surprise there. Jamie Griffiths 15th and Felix Ontario in 16th. Those are the 6 drivers out in Q2. So what did you make of that session overall, Dennis?
Yeah, one thing, it was very chaotic indeed. Very much chaos, of course, with the 2 incidents involving Gal. Then the thing with Galloway and the Marshal was very funny. Yeah, of course, a big surprise of Roque and Byrne being out. And of course, it was also a good performance by Gomez in P12.
Yeah, indeed. A very strong lap time for him, though, it's fair to say. As we will now, Yuri just needs to do what he needs to do for Q3. And for the meantime, guys, you can let us know your prediction on who you think will take pole position for tomorrow's Monaco Grand Prix. I'll ask your prediction in a little bit, Dennis. But for everybody else, leave your prediction on who you think will take pole position for tomorrow's Monaco Grand Prix. Will it be a Mercedes? Will it be a surprise with all the traffic that's around? Who knows, really? Maybe could Mercedes' streak of pole positions come to an end in this race? Who knows? So we wait for that session to get on the way, as I now just do something quickly for the Twitter. So just bear with if I stay silent. I do apologise, guys, but just bear with.
Nice one, Jamie. Jamie put a little bit of a video from Galloway with the Marshal on Discord. Yeah.
This one, hopefully somebody can capitalise on that, namely Felix Ontario.
Yeah.
Because he is obviously known for that, as is in a way Miklos Gal with the GP4 memes channel that he hasn't posted on for quite a while, it's fair to say. I don't know if he has plans to or not. Knows really, but anyway, sorting this tweet out, and Q3 will get underway as soon as Yuri sorts out what he needs to sort out to get that session underway. And so there we go. Just got the tweet sorted out there. And no, I'm not Fabrizio Morano. I know that that one is going to get. Well, Felix has actually retweeted one of my tweets, so he is around. So I wonder what he'll think when he sees that photograph. If anybody's wanted to post that on Twitter, feel free. So that's that really. So yeah, so I'm just going to read some of you guys' predictions in the stream chat before we get underway. So Franco Garber says Kirishima De Rosa pole position. Okay, a very risky one indeed. Zachary Fitzwater says Lopez for pole. George says Gal for pole. I wonder why he keeps doing that. Blake Moore says Lopez takes pole. Fonchanek says Carr for pole. Bob says Galloway for pole position. No, he's not out of the session. Robbie actually made it through. He made it into P6. So let's see. Real prediction for Blake Moore. He says Garber for pole position. Which Garber? Because both of them are through. So anyway, and very nice prediction there, Laura. A car will be on pole. So Julian says De Rosa for pole, Julian NT. So as you've got the weather on your screen, we just need to get it on our screen now. And we have done. And of course, obviously, like with all sessions, it's dry. So let's get Q3 underway. So who are you predicting for pole position, Dennis?
Yeah, it's an interesting call, especially here in Monaco. But I think going for the usual, I think Franco Lopez will take pole.
Okay, Franco Lopez for pole for Dennis. I'm going to go with Almar Carr. I'm going to be safe with that one. Blake Moore said Roberto, to be exact. So he's actually going to play it risky and say Ferrari will get pole. We'll see, of course. Anything could happen here at Monaco, as we've seen throughout this session. But so far, the Mercedes have still been on the top. So they've so far been avoiding some of the bad luck. They nearly came close in Q2, to be honest. But they finally were able to find a patch in the traffic where they were able to get a 1-2 towards the end of Q2. So we will wait and see, of course. We are now in the garage getting set for Q3. We are in the cockpit of Roland Mottram. Of course, the only racing point in Q3 because George Roque failed to make it through. Only a P11 finish for George Roque in the end there. Then as the Mercedes is going to be first out on the track, and it's going to be Franco Lopez who's going to be first on the racetrack. Probably one of the favourites for pole position, and the man, of course, who did get robbed of victory here last season, and obviously looking for redemption. So Lopez will get a clear first lap in, and probably not good news for his rivals, it's fair to say, but we will see as Lopez now then makes his way towards the Casino Square. Now through the right-hander go, as he now makes his way down towards Mirabeau. Now heading down towards the Grand Hotel hairpin, as a few more cars are now coming out onto the racetrack, including teammate Armar Carr, Roland Motrin, Laura Chung, Jake Galloway, and Miklos Gao. 4 more cars yet to come out onto the racetrack at the moment. So making their way towards the chicane. Now through the chicane then goes Franco Lopez as another car has come out onto the racetrack. A couple of more cars coming out. Lopez hoping there'll be no traffic on the exit, which I highly doubt, given the speed of all the cars going out of the track now. But we will see. Through the chicane we go as they now make their way towards Raskas. Flicking it in for the left and then through the double right-hander. And into Anthony Nodes we go. On the pit straight then goes Franco Lopez, as he will now start his lap. His first lap of Q3, clear track in front. Who knows, maybe this could be the pole lap, we will see. Out of turn 1 then goes Franco Lopez as he makes his way up the hill towards the Casino Square. Obviously Jake Galloway crashed here in Q2, and who knows, we could see some crashes in Q3, we'll have to wait and see of course. That's now making the way down towards Mirabeau now, then we'll go Lopez. Let's see what his first sector is like. And it is a 22.8 in the first sector. Let's see what everybody else is doing on the left-hand side. 22.9 for Galloway in the first sector. 23.3 for Roland. I don't know if Jake is holding him up in front, but we will see. A 22.7 for Carr. So Carr is quicker than Lopez in the first sector there at this point in time. As 23.2 for Miklos in the first sector. Is a 40.3 for Lopez in the second sector as he makes his way towards the back. A few more cars fizzling their way through sector 2 now then. Carr still up on Lopez in the second sector, but not by much, so we'll wait and see if he can keep that up in the last sector as Lopez makes his way towards Raskas now. Then through the double right-hander will go the current championship leader and the defending champion. Through into Anthony Nodes he will go down the pit straight, and Franco Lopez is now going to cross the line, and he does a 1 minute 11.111. A lot of ones there in that lap.
Nice time.
5 tenths down. 5 tenths down for Galloway. He goes second. Third place for Roland Motrin. Way off the pace there. Carr does go fastest by a tenth. So 1 minute 10.979 for Armar Carr. Here comes Laura Chun. The Ferrari has been looking quite strong here in qualifying, it's fair to say. She slots into 4th, and then P4 goes to Miklos Gao. We now look at David Kupok, who makes his way through the Lapicine chicane. Now into Raskas now then we will go, flicking it in for the left. Then through the double right-hander we will go as they now make their way through Anthony Nodes. Making their way down the pit straight now, then we'll go David Kupok. Across the line then we'll go the German, and he goes into 7th position as Franco Gamba is now going to cross the line. This is looking like a very good lap for Gamba. He goes into second. He splits the 2 Mercedes, so 200ths off of Carr there then as De Rosa goes into 5th. Roberto Gamba across the line goes into 5th position himself, and there the first lap's done with. So at the moment, Carr at the top, but surprisingly, Franco Gamba so far splitting the 2 Mercedes. Where's this pace come from Franco Gamba? It's safe to say, Dennis.
Yeah, it's very, I would say, surprise from Gamba, from Franco Gamba. So yeah, hopefully this will stay this way. Maybe can challenge for pole. Let's see what happens.
We will see, of course. And I've just been notified that Franco Gamba did originally think that Jamie outqualified Felix for the first ever time. It's actually the second time he's outqualified him. So thanks for that check there. Franco, it's the second time that Griffiths has actually outqualified Sontag this season. So that's that really. Galloway currently in 4th position. So far, a good time for him so far on the board. As Motrin now then pulls into his box. He needs to find a lot of time in his second lap if he wants to get quite close to the front tomorrow, given how hard it is to overtake around here. And strategy is going to be the key thing around here. This is where the midfield could actually stake a claim at this racetrack. They could actually try and spoil a surprise around here. Who knows? A drink down me because I've talked way too much today. So everybody is now in the garage with just under 10 minutes to go. Now, will Franco Lopez be the first on track again? We will wait and see. Or will somebody get out on track before him? We look at Lopez, who's side by side with Carr in the garage here. And let's see then as the time continues to tick down. And we wait to see who will fizzle out on the racetrack. I've got a feeling Lopez maybe won the first out, and he's coming out on the track. Will he get out on track before everybody else? And the answer to that is yes. So Lopez, just like last time, he'll be the first on the track to see if he can try and get back onto the front row, maybe even try and get the pole back off of Armar Carr. And Lopez out on the racetrack. Will now go then. He will now go through the first corner now then. He'll now make his way up the hill. And so now heading his way towards Casino now then will go Franco Lopez. And he'll soon be starting his second lap very, very soon. Armar Carr has also just come out onto the racetrack, maybe just in case Lopez goes that tad bit quicker than him, we will see. Through the Grand Hotel hairpin will go Franco Lopez. And he will now make his way towards Portier. Franco Gamba's come out on the track, as has Laura Chung. And now so has Roland Motrin. So we've got 5 cars out on the track now then. 5 cars still in the garage as we speak, as Lopez makes his way down through the seafront chicane. And he'll be starting his second lap very soon. De Rosa's just come out on the track. Currently in P6 at the moment is De Rosa. Of course, was a superstar here a couple of seasons ago. You may remember with that podium. Q-Park has now come out on the track. Some of these guys spacing themselves out to ensure that they don't get any traffic on their lap. So probably key tactic there. Probably the important thing here. Roberto Gama has not come out yet. And Lopez is coming around the final corner. So I think Lopez is hoping that Roberto is not going to be there by the time he gets down this pit straight, and Roberto Gamba has come out on the track, but luckily for Lopez, I think Gamba is just a little bit further in front, so I think Lopez should be okay on this lap as they now make their way up the hill, as we just saw a glimpse there of Roberto Gamba, who will be preparing for his next flying lap very soon. Currently in P5 is the cousin Roberto Gamba, the cousin of Franco Gamba, of course. I nearly got my words twisted there. So through into Mirabeau then goes Lopez. Let's see what his first sector is like, and he's 200 up. 200 off of Carr in the first sector, but 12 thousandths up on his personal best in the first sector. Not by much. Let's see if he can try and keep it up in the second sector, which is basically a short sector. Through into the tunnel then goes Franco Lopez. You do lose a little bit of downforce going into the tunnel, probably due to the roof. A bit of an interesting fact there, really, and very interesting how downforce works. But he's now lost time in the second sector. He's now down on his personal best in the second sector. He can still try and recover it back in the last sector, but we will see as Lopez now then goes through the Lapicine chicane now then, or the sets of chicanes he has to go through now then. Making his way towards Rascas now then. Now through the double right-hander will go Lopez, is now into Anthony Nodes now then will go Lopez. Down the pit straight goes the Argentine as Lopez is now going to cross the line. Can he improve? And no, he can't. He remains in third. So Franco Gamba still splitting the two Mercedes at the moment. As Carr is down on his personal best at the moment, 1 minute 10.979. Let's see if he can try and find some time in the last sector as he now makes his way down the pit straight. And Armar Carr now then comes across the line and does not improve. Actually misses out by 7 tenths there. Chung is down on her personal best. She recover it in the last sector, and no, she can't. She remains in P8 as Gamba's up on his personal best. This is interesting because he's not that far away from Carr. Can he go to the top? No, he can't. Just misses out. Just misses out again. He's now 25 thousandths behind Armar Carr. He's in P2 at this point in time as Roland Motrin crosses the line, does not improve, remains in P9. De Rosa, meanwhile, is up on his personal best as he makes his way down the pit straight, and the Polish driver now then comes across the line and improves but remains in P6. Kupok up on his personal best, got 2 cars behind, including Gal, who is currently stuck in traffic, and he's down in P7, so not good for the moment is the Hungarian. Kupok improves but remains in 10th. Galloway doesn't improve, but Gal does surprisingly, gets up into P4, so the top 4 consisting of Mercedes and Red Bulls at this point in time. Meantime, Roberto Gamba is up on his personal best. Can he spoil that party across the line? And no, he can't. He goes up into 5th position, not able to get into the top 3 like we've seen the Ferraris doing in the previous 2 sessions. And I think these are these sets of laps done with. So at the moment, Carr still at the top with Franco Gamba in 2nd and Lopez in 3rd. Franco Gamba, fair to say, showing some really good pace at the moment, Dennis.
Yeah, that's true. It seems like he saved his most energy for this Q3. And it's at the moment it's quite good for him.
Indeed, as Franco Gamba now making his way towards his garage as he'll be preparing for his final flying lap. Well, maybe penultimate flying lap. We don't know really due to how short the track is. We'll have to wait and see on the timing tower at the top to make a little bit of a verdict that a little bit later on. As Roland Motrin now then goes towards his box. And currently down in P9, so far not been a good day for the racing points at this present moment. And given how tough it is to pass here, might be a bit of a tricky day unless they can get the strategy right tomorrow. Strategy, as mentioned, going to be key around here. And so, as Motrin now then will be preparing to go out onto the racetrack. As very, very soon, along with everybody else. Will Lopez be the first to go out on the track again? We will see. And the answer to that is no, because Carr is going to be doing that instead. Although he is getting held up a little bit by the Ferrari here of Roberto Gama. He has to wait a little bit so that the Ferrari mechanics can clear his car. But he's now been able to go through. And Laura Chung has decided to join him as well. So interesting there, what Ferrari are doing there to put Chung behind their car. A bit interesting there. But these two are out on track first on this set. Whether these will be the final laps, I'm not sure. It's probably a high chance it could be, but we will wait and see. As Carr now makes his way up the hill towards the casino corners. There's a few more cars have now come out onto the. In fact, no, they haven't. That was my eyes playing up there. I do apologise. So Chung probably starting to lose a little bit of ground now to Carr, probably due to the advantage that the Mercedes has on pace compared to the Ferrari. So I think Chung might be okay when it comes to traffic, as a few more cars have now come out, including Franco Gamba and Franco Lopez. As we ride back on board with Almar Cars, he looks to improve on his 1 minute 10.9, given how close Franco Gamba has been to it the last couple of runs. And Carr now then making his way towards the back. Now through into La Piscine, we will go through the left and the right, and then into the right-hander, and then the left will go Carr. As we have just over 3 minutes to go in this session as Carr makes his way towards Raskas. Still a few more cars yet to come out onto the racetrack. Whether that will be a problem when it comes to traffic, we will have to wait and see. Carr now then making his way down the pit straight, and Carr now then will come across the line, and he starts his lap now then. Luckily for him, no traffic, so he should be able to get a clear lap in front. And I think the same will go for Laura Chung as well. As now up the hill then goes Almar Carr as he makes his way towards Casino now then. And now flicking the car in, and then through the right-hander will go Almar Carr. Let's see what his first sector is like compared to his personal best. Roberto Gamba still in the garage at the moment, just waiting around for a little bit. Now he's now out on the track, 14 thousandths down on his personal best in the first sector. So not a lot there for Almar Carr. Let's see what his second sector is like as they will come towards the tunnel. And it's just at the exit of the tunnel, of course, where the sector 2 point is. Now making their way down towards the seafront chicane. And he's 23 thousandths down, so he's lost a little bit more time in the second sector. So unless he can find a miracle in the last sector, it looks like Carr is not going to improve on that 1 minute 10.979 he set earlier on in the session. But we will see. Through La Piscine now then will go Carr. Through the right and then into the left-hander he will go. As he tries to get as close to the walls as possible now then. To the left and then into the double right-hander then will go Almar Carr. Getting as close to the wall on the outside. Now into Anthony Nodes. Over 2 minutes to go as Carr now then down the pit straight. Can he find some time in the last sector? Across the line he will now go, and no he can't. He does not improve. Chung is on improving, and she goes up into 6th. So 5-6 so far for the two Ferraris. But look at this. Lopez is up on Carr. So Lopez maybe could dethrone Carr here of pole position. Let's see. Franco Lopez now then goes through into Raskas. Can he dethrone Carr of a Monaco Grand Prix pole position? Can he make it 2 years in a row? Franco Lopez now then comes around. Anthony Nodes now then down the pit straight and across the line. We'll go to the championship leader. Can Lopez snatch pole of Almar Carr? Yes, he can. By
yes, he can.
Second. Lopez goes into pole position at the moment. Gamba not up on his personal best. He comes across the line and he remains in third position. Not able to split up the two Mercedes at this point. Galli's not on improvement either. Looks like he's going to stay in fourth unless people behind start to improve. Coming out of the La Piscine chicane now then we will go. Making their way through Raskas. And I think these were the final laps that we were looking at here then. So Gal now, they make his way through into Anthony Nodes now. They're making his way down the pit straight. And Miklas Gal is going to cross the line. Can he find a miracle in the last sector? No, he can't. Remains in fourth position. Roland Motrin is up on an improvement, but only remains in ninth position. So a disappointing qualifying for him. Kupok up on his personal best. What can the AlphaTauri driver do? The German crosses the line and he remains in 10th. De Rosa doesn't improve, remains where he is. Galloway on a lap, but so far down on his personal best. Galloway currently in 7th, and it looks like he's going to stay in 7th behind the two Ferraris at the moment now then. So Galloway now then comes across the line and he does not improve, remains in 7th position as Gamba is on a lap. Roberto Gamba that is, but he's down on his personal best, so unless he finds a miracle in the last sector, it looks like he's going to stay in 5th position. Through into Anthony Nodes then goes the Italian. down the pit straight. He will now go, and Roberto Garma crosses the line, and he remains in 5th position. And there you have it then. So as a result, for the 2nd year in a row, it is Franco Lopez who will take pole position for tomorrow's Monaco Grand Prix. He left it to the last lap to do that, and it is Franco Lopez who is on pole position for tomorrow's Monaco Grand Prix. So we're going to take a look at the pole lap right now then, guys, pretty soon. So we are going to mute ourselves, both me and Dennis, and we're going to allow you to see the pole lap from Franco Lopez. Enjoy. And that is how Franco Lopez took pole position for tomorrow's Monaco Grand Prix. An amazing final lap there for Lopez. Question is, though, can he get redemption from last season and get the victory that he was so surely robbed of last season and get the victory this season? Or will we get a surprise from the midfield? Thanks to the strategy element here at Monaco. Let's see. Well, here is your top 10 to remind you. Franco Lopez on pole position with Amar Khan in second and ensuring a Mercedes front row. Franco Gamba third with Miklos Gau in fourth. Then it is Roberto Gamba in fifth. Laura Chung in sixth. A good qualifying from Ferrari. Jake Galloway in seventh. Kirishima De Rosa eighth. Roland Motrin in ninth. And David Cupart completes the top 10. So, what did you make of that session overall, Dennis?
It was a very exciting qualifying session, I have to say. But lots of actions here. Of course, Franco Lopez saved up everything for his final lap, then smashed it and got his, what was it, 6 pole and 7 races up, but I'm not sure. But it was a great session.
Yep, indeed. Question is, though, can he get revenge from last season? That is the question. Well, that is it then from the live stream here at qualifying. A very entertaining session indeed, and probably a very good qualifying session to kick off the first OC stream of 2022. Of course, me and Dennis will not be in the commentary box tomorrow because we allow George to do that for the highlights. But until then, guys, that has been it. Hope you enjoyed it. So thank you very much for watching. I've been JW97. He's been Dennis Graff. And we will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. GMT for the 78-lap Monaco Grand Prix. The first of 2 crown jewel races. Of course, next week we have the Indy 500, who will win the first of those this season. Until then, take care.
Bye, have a great time.